साद्वैतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत जय गदाधर हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, you are able to hear now?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams, Mataji.
Yes, so who can recite the shlokas?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Mataji.
Swati Mataji, you can recite 5 shlokas.
Yes, Mataji. इहरे नारीलुन कृष्ण नाम कहते सुनिय स्वरूप गोसानी लागिला कहते. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. But I could not induce this boy to chant the holy name of Krishna. Hearing this, Swarupa Damodar Goswami began to speak. तुम्ही कृष्ण नाम मंत्र कैलास उपदेशे मंत्रपाना खारे आगे ना करे प्रकाशे. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My lord, he said, you have given him initiation into the name of Krishna, but after receiving the mantra, he will not express it in front of everyone. माने माने जप मुके न करे आख्याना ये यही इहरा माना कथा खरी अनुमाना. Mataji, can you scroll up? Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This boy chants the mantra within his mind but does not say it aloud. That is his intention. As far as I can guess. आराधना काहे न प्रभु पाड़ा पूरी धासा यही श्लोका करी तेन हो करीला प्रकाशा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Another day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to the boy, recite, my dear Puridasa, the boy composed the following words and expressed it before everyone. Ravasho Kuvalayam Akshar Anjanam Urasho Mahendra Mani Dama Vrindavana Ramani Nam Mandanam Akilam Harir Jayati. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mataji, can you scroll up? Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Sri Krishna is just like a bluish lotus flower for the ears. He is ointment for the eyes, a necklace of Indranila gems for the chest, and universal ornaments for the gopi damsels of Vrindavana. Let that Lord Sri Hari Krishna be glorified. शतवत्सरेरशिशु नहि अध्यायान ऐचे श्लोका करे लोकेरा चमत्कारमाना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the boy was only 7 years old and still had no education, he composed such a nice words. Everyone was struck with wonder. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
So, which boy was this? Who was this boy? Does anybody remember from the last context which you yesterday discussed?
Shivram Sena, no Mataji. His son, I think.
Shivananda
Shivananda Sena. Shivananda Sena.
Sena.
Shivananda Sena's son. So Shivananda Sena was not reciting, son was not reciting the mantra, but he was still initiated. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he was not having any education, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him this time to recite, so he recited a beautiful shloka. So what was the shloka about? The shloka was explaining about the beauty of the Lord. So mentioning about how the Lord was appearing. So how is the Lord appearing? Sarvasho Kulem Akshnor Anjanam. So here he is looking like just like the bluish lotus flower for the ears. And the ointment or the kajal, Anjanam, what we apply for the eyes, it's there. And on the chest, here it is mentioned about a necklace which is of a very popular gem which is known as Indranila gem. So, and then all the ornaments for the gopis. So here in this way, the boy who recited the shloka was explaining about the glorification of the Lord. So why in the beginning he didn't chant the holy name? Because since it was initiated, he didn't go to loudly chant the holy name. Sumati Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Satavatsera Shishu Nahi Adhyayana Aiche Shloka Kare Lokera Chamatkara Mana. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. This is the glory of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy, which even the demigods headed by Lord Brahma cannot estimate. Text 77. Bhakta Gana Prabhu Sange Rahe Chari Mase Prabhu Akya Dila Sabe Gela Gauda Deshe. Translation. All the devotees remained with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continuously for 4 months. Then the Lord ordered them back to Bengal, and therefore they returned. Text 78. Tasabara Sangha Sange Prabhura Chila Bahya Jnana Tara Gele Punah Haila Unmada Pradana. Translation. As long as the devotees were in Nilachala, Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu maintained his external consciousness, but after their departure, his chief engagement was again the madness of ecstatic love for Krishna. Text 79. Ratri dine spure Krishnera rupa gandha rasa sakshadanubhave yena Krishna upasparsha. Translation. Throughout the entire day and night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly relished Krishna's beauty, fragrance, and taste as if he were touching Krishna hand to hand. Text 80. Ekadina Prabhu Gela Jagannatha Darshane Simhadware Dalai Asi Karila Vandane. Translation. One day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to visit the temple of Lord Jagannatha, the gatekeeper at the Simhadwara approached him and offered respectful obeisances. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry. Yeah. So here, yeah, we saw that how all the devotees used to come from West Bengal and be with Mahaprabhu during the Chaturmas period. And now when it is done and there, he tells them to go back and do their service at their respective places. So when they have already left, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to see that he tries to be maintaining his external consciousness so that he does not go into the ecstatic love for Krishna, because there is no one to see other than Govinda or some other devotees. So, but still, when they all left, he was still in the madness of ecstatic love for Krishna. So, here comes one more pastime related with that. So, throughout the day, he will be indirectly or directly relishing Krishna's beauty, fragrance, as if he is touching Krishna hand to hand. So, now one day he goes to the temple as usual, and he now meets the gatekeeper who is at the Swimadwar, and offering respectful obeisances, he asks him a question. So we will see what he asks about that. Uh, Anyone wants to recite the shlokas? Matajis? Krishnamurti Prabhu, anyone?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. I want to recite. Just give me 1 minute time. I'm entering home. I'll open the iPad. Or by then, if anybody interested, can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, you can recite.
Mataji, 1 second. Text 81, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
तारे बाले कोता तारे बाले कोता कृष्णा मोरा प्राणा नाथा मोरा कृष्णा देखा भली धारे तारे हाथा. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord asked him, "Where is Krishna, my life and soul? Please show me Krishna." Saying this, he caught the doorkeeper's hand. Text 82. Teha kahe ina aya vrajendra nandana aisa tumi mora sange karana darshana. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The doorkeeper replied, "The son of Maharaja Nanda is here. Please come along with me and I will show you. I shall show you." Text 83. Tumi mora sakha dekha kaha prananatha yeta bali jagamohana gela dhari tara hata. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Mataji, okay, thank you. Lord Chaitanya said to the doorman, "You are my friend. Please show me where the Lord of my heart is." After the Lord said this, they both went to the place known as Jagamohana, where everyone views Lord Jagannatha. Text 84. Tehe bale ye deka Sri Purushottama Netra Bhariya Tumi Karaha Darshana. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Just see, the doorkeeper said, he is the best of the personalities of Godhead. From here you may see the Lord to the full satisfaction of your eyes. Text 85. Go, 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 Gauradera.
Garudera
तेरा पाचेरा ही करेण दर्शन देखेन जगन्नाथया मुरली वदना. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed behind the huge column called the Garuda Stamba and looked upon Lord Jagannatha. But as he looked, he saw the Lord Jagannatha had become Lord Krishna with a flute to his mouth.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we saw that now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come near the gates of Jagannath Mandir. And there he is asking the doorkeeper, have you seen Krishna? Can you show me Krishna? So the doorkeeper just takes him near the place where you can have a clear darshan of Jagannath, and just near the Garuda Stamba. Inside the uh, temple, usually that is where a Garuda Stamba comes, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not go ahead of this Stamba. He just watches standing from there, because if he goes ahead, he would not be able to control his ecstasy. So, standing over there, the doorkeeper just brings him there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the doorkeeper is mentioning, see, the Lord, your Lord, the son of Nandu Maharaj is here, showing Jagannath. He's showing Krishna over here. So, and he's telling him that you just take the darshan to the full satisfaction of our heart and to the eyes. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just standing over there, just near that, just behind that Garuda Kamba, and he's looking at Lord Jagannath. And as he's looking at Jagannath, he is able to see Jagannath in the form of Lord Krishna. How is he seeing, visualizing, or how is he taking darshan of Jagannath? He's seeing him as Krishna here. He's able to see Jagannath as in the form of Lord Krishna with his flute to the mouth. So, in the form of Venudhari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is seeing Jagannath here. So, we'll go ahead. Yes, Rekha Mataji, you can recite.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, text 86. Ei Lila Nija Granthe Raghunatha Dasa Gaurangastava Kalpa Vrikshe Kariyachena Prakasha. Translation. In his book known as Gaurangastava Kalpa Vriksha, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami has described this incident very nicely. Text 87. Kwame Kanta Krishnastvari Tvaritam Ihatam Lokaya Sakhe Tvam Eveti Dvaradhipam Abhivadan Unmadaiva Drutam Gaccha Drashtum Priyam Iti Tad Uktena Drutatad Bhujantar Gaurango Hrudaya Udayanma Madhyati. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear friend, the doorkeeper, where is Krishna, the Lord of my heart? Kindly show him to me quickly. With these words, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addressed the doorkeeper like a madman. The doorkeeper grasped his hand and replied very hastily, Come, see your beloved. May that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rise within my heart and thus make me mad also. Text 88. Hena kale gopala vallabha bhoga lagailla shankha ghantat adi saha arati bhajila. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The offering of food known as Gopala Vallabha Bhoga was then given to Lord Jagannatha, and Arati was performed with the sound of the conch and the ringing of bells. Text 89. Bhoga sharile Jagannathera sevaka gana prasada lana prabhu thani kaila agamana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. When the arti finished, the prasadam was taken out, and the servants of the Lord Jagannath came to offer some to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 90. माला पारायण प्रसाद दिला प्रभु रहते आस्वाद दूरे रहू यारा गंधे माना माते. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The servants of the Lord Jagannath first garlanded Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then offered him Lord Jagannath's prasadam. The prasadam was so nice that its aroma alone, to say nothing of its taste, would drive the mind mad. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking darshan of the Lord and he's still asking the doorkeeper, where is Krishna? Show me Krishna. So the doorkeeper is still holding his hand and showing him showing Jagannath and telling, take, here is Lord Krishna, please take darshan of him. So at the same time, the bhoga was offered. So what was the bhoga here? Gopal Vallabha bhoga. So at different times, the Lord Jagannath is being offered. So I don't remember at what time is this Gopal Vallabha Bhoga is been offered. So at different times when Bhoga is offered to the Lord, it is been named with different names. So this when this Bhoga of Gopal Vallabha Bhoga is been offered, and then Arati is being performed. So usually when this Bhoga is been offered and then been brought out, it becomes prasad, and so when the aarti gets over, the prasad is been distributed. So now the devotees of Lord Jagannath who had done this offering comes out and gives the offering to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they also garland him. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts the prasad. So what was the glory of the prasad here? The prasadam was so nice, as just that aroma itself, without tasting it, just the aroma is just making the mind mad. So we'll see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to say more about the prasadam. Yes, Padma Mataji, you can recite from here.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
बहुमूल्य प्रसाद से वस्तु सर्वोत्तम तार अर्प खाओ ऐते सेवक करेला यतन. The translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The prasadam was made of very valuable ingredients. Therefore, the servant wanted to feed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a portion of it. Text 92. Tara arpa lana Prabhu. Sorry, Mataji. Jivate yadi dila arasaba govindera anjale bandila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasted the portion of the prasadam. Govinda took the rest and bound it in the end of his wrapper. Text 93. कोटि अमृत स्वाद पाना प्रभुरा चमत्कार सर्वांगे पुलका नेत्रे वाहे अश्रुधारा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the prasadam tasted millions upon millions of times better than nectar, and thus he was fully satisfied. The hair all over his body stood on end, and incessant tears flowed from his eyes. Text 94. द्रव्ये एते स्वाद काहन हैते आइला कृष्णेरा अधर्मात्मा आदरात्मृत इते संचरीला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered, where has such a taste in this prasadam come from? Certainly it is due to its having been touched by the nectar of Krishna's lips. Text 95. Ei buddhe mahaprabhura prema vesha haila jagannatera sevaka dekhi samvarana kaila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Understanding this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt an emotion of ecstatic love for Krishna. But upon seeing the servants of Lord Jagannatha, he restrained himself. Have you read, no, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Swati Mataji, you can continue.
Hare Krishna Mataji. सुकृति लभय पेला लवा बाले न भर भर ईश्वर सेवक पूछे की अर्थ इहरा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord said again and again, only by great fortune may one come by a particle of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. Purport. The servants of Jagannath temple inquired what is the meaning of this. The remnants of Krishna's food are mixed with his saliva. In Mahabharata and in Skanda Purana it is stated, Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Kalpama Punyam Vratam Rajan Vishwasona Vichayetaye. Persons who are not very highly elevated in pious activities cannot believe in the remnants of food, prasadam of Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor in Govinda, the holy name of Lord, nor in the Vaishnavas. Prabhu kahe ye dila Krishna hadar amrita Brahmadi durlabha ye nindyane amrita. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, these are remnants of food that Krishna has eaten and thus turned into nectar with his lips. It surpasses heavenly nectar, and even such demigods as Lord Brahma find it difficult to obtain. Krishnera ye bhukta shesha tara fela nama tara eka lava ye paya sei bhagavan. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Remnants left by Krishna are called fela. Anyone who obtains even a small portion must be considered very fortunate. सामान्य भाग्य है ते तारा प्राप्ति नहीं आया कृष्ण रे यान्ते पूर्ण कृपा से ताहा पाया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is only ordinarily fortunate cannot obtain such mercy. Only persons who have the full mercy of Krishna can receive such remnants.
Okay.
सुकृति शब्दे का है कृष्णा कृपा हेतु पुण्य सेई अनराहाया फेला पाय सेई धन्या. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Sukriti refers to the pious activities performed by the mercy of Krishna. One who is fortunate enough to obtain such mercy receives the remnants of the Lord's food and thus become glorious. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling us how about the glories of prasadam. So he released having the prasad of Jagannath, and the remaining prasad was packed up by Govinda in his dhoti. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning so nicely that who can be more fortunate, right? And a person who has done some pious activities by the mercy of Krishna, only those can get the prasad or the remnants of the Lord's food and thus become glorious. So prasad is considered as mercy here. So and who is fortunate, only they can get such mercy. So we can see this here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to make us understand that who has little fortunate, who is having only little fortune, also cannot obtain such mercy. Only person who is having full mercy of Krishna can receive the remnants of prasad. And and it is called as, what are the remnants which is left by Krishna are called Phela. And he is explaining it to the servants of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, that how it becomes so much tastier because the Lord has eaten it, and there is saliva of the Lord on the food which is being offered to him, and by the touch of his lips the food becomes so much uh, what you call, the mercy of the Lord is coming through the prasad over here. So that is the reason why we should honor prasad and not eat prasad. So we have to honor the prasad. Whatever prasad is been given to us, we need to honor it. So in that way, our consciousness gets purified. And to come into a proper Krishna conscious, we need first our senses needs to be controlled. So in among the senses, the tongue is the one which is very difficult to control. So how it can be controlled? It can be controlled when we start having prasad. So when we start eating prasadam, our consciousness gets purified over there. Our sinful activities gets reduced. The tendency to do sinful activities also gets reduced by eating, just by eating prasad. So automatically when the tongue gets controlled, all the other senses gets controlled and we get a higher taste. That's what Prabhupada tells, that start eating prasad, then we'll get higher taste, and automatically we will start reading Bhagavatam, start reading Bhagavad Gita. All those things will be induced slowly, and we can practice Krishna conscious strongly over there. So that is the glory of prasad. And in India, it is the mercy of the Lord that wherever we go, there are so many temples over here, the Vishnu temples over here, where you get prasad. And the people of India is having so much mercy that anyone who tells this is prasad, they just accept it, right? Even if I'm an unknown person, if you just tell them this is prasad, they just accept it and eat it. So you might have seen that when we are going for Ratha Yatra, the Rath is going on, and near to it, um, there are buses and vehicles going on, and we distribute prasad to them, and they don't know us, but still they accept it. So that is the faith. Uh, in at least in India, we see that whoever unknown is, but when it is being given as prasad, they accept it wholeheartedly and have that prasads too, right? So one incident where I was in Germany, and it was again Ratha Yatra time. So the devotees were trying to distribute prasad whoever is coming on the way when we are going in that Ratha Yatra. So at that time, there were some cookies which are packed in nice small boxes, very small boxes, cardboard boxes, very small boxes. But most of them didn't took it also. Just whoever is coming on our way, we are trying to give it. Nobody's taking it. Then they brought fruits. So at least because then they were mentioning that they don't take cooked food, which is prasad also, but from a stranger, right? We are strangers to them, so they will not ever accept it. But even though it's a prasad, they will not accept it. Because why? Because they don't know the importance or the glories of prasad. So they will never have it. So they never get the mercy. So they are also not so fortunate to receive that mercy of Krishna Prasad. So when I started taking fruits in a basket and was just giving them, telling them it is prasad, so there were very few souls who took it from our hands. So most of them just stared at us, just ignored us, and they just went ahead. So then I was able to understand how important it is, that how fortunate we are that we get the mercy of Krishna. But the problem is we always get prasad everywhere, so we don't understand its glory and its importance, that how uh, that full mercy of Krishna is coming to me through this prasadam. So this incident where it has happened, so only few souls who took that prasad. So then I understood, oh, Indians are so lucky that wherever prasadam is distributed, we take it. So that is why we are able to at least take the names of the holy name of Krishna, and we have that at least that samskaras in us wherever we go to pay obeisances to the Lord, right? But in Western world, that was not there. So Prabhupada has given them, shown them the mercy by preparing, uh, right? He prepared gulab jamuns, rasgulla, and because of feeding them prasadam, they were able to come out of their bad habits and then take to Krishna conscious. So through prasadam, Prabhupada made them devotees. So here we can understand also here Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahaprabhu is trying to explain us that how one gets full mercy of Krishna just through prasadam. So how glorious is the prasadam, because the Lord is himself having that bhoga what we have offered. So we need to honor the prasad here in a proper consciousness. So then our consciousness gets purified. When we wholeheartedly accept the prasad, our consciousness definitely is going to get purified. So indeed, when we offer every time at home or we honor the prasad at temple or wherever, we should remember that we are getting the full mercy of Krishna, and we are very fortunate to receive such mercy. Uh, Gandhimati Mataji, you can continue ahead.
Mataji, I just want one clarification.
Yeah.
Here it is stated, this text 96, the Mahaprasada
Okay.
Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi. But what we have learned was Mahaprasada Govinde Sharira Vidyaja Jitendri Tahekar and so on. So there's a difference in these two.
Yeah, this is coming from Mahabharat and Skanda Puran, whereas the one which we recite may be
Yeah.
coming from different scriptures. So there may be different variations, but
We have 3
the
verses in here.
but the essence is that as I mentioned, as I give an example of people who are in Western countries or sometimes even in India, that persons who are not got such, who have not done any pious activities or not elevated at all in their consciousness, they cannot accept or believe that there is so much mercy in the prasad or in the holy name of the Lord, right? So
Yeah.
it may be difficult for a person to make them chant the holy name, but if you give them prasad, they wholeheartedly accept it. If there is some sweet rice, This is a prasad. If you give it to anyone, they will be like, it's a sweet rice, or it's a jamun, it's a rasgulla. You have the tendency to accept it and eat, even though I may be a stranger to them, right? So
Yes,
that is
Mataji.
how. Yeah, Mataji, this reference may come from different Puranas. Here it is mentioned with Mahabharat and Skanda Puran. I don't remember the one which we recite, Mahaprasade Govinde.
That's from Gitavali.
Okay.
Songs from the honoring of Sri Krishna from Gitavali.
Only the difference is there in little variation in the lines, Mataji, but the essence will be
Yeah,
same
yes.
of the glorious of prasadam.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
yeah,
Mataji.
Gandhi
Thank you.
Mataji, you can continue.
Text 101. एत बलि प्रभुत सपेर सबरे विदाय दिला उपल बोह देखिया प्रभु निज वसहैला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bade farewell to all the servants. After seeing the next offering of food of Lord Jagannatha, a function known as Upala Bhoga, he returned to his own quarters. Hare Krishna.
You can continue, Mataji.
102. ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಕರಿಯ ಕೈಲ ಭಿಕ್ಷಾ ನಿರ್ವಹನ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ದಾರಾಮೃತ ಸದಾ ಅಂತೇರ ಸ್ಮರಣ. Translation. After finishing his known duties, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate his lunch, but he constantly remembered the remnants of Krishna's food. Hare Krishna. Text 103. बाह्य कृत्य करेण प्रेम गर गर मन कास्ते संवरण करेण आवेश सकना. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his external activities, but his mind was filled with ecstatic love. With great difficulty, he tried to restrain his mind, but it would always be overwhelmed by very deep ecstasy. Hare Krishna. Text 104. Sandhya Kritya Kari Puna Nija Gana Sanghe Nibirte Vasila Nana Krishna Kataranje. Translation. After finishing his evening duties, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates in a secluded place and discussed the pastimes of Krishna in great jubilant. Text 105. Prabhura injite Govinda Prasada Anila Puri Bharatra Tere Prabhu Kichu Pathaila. Translation. Following the indications of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda brought the prasadam of Lord Jagannatha. The Lord sent some to Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So here, after having the prasad, still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just remembering having the remnants of that prasad. So he comes back there after he speaks with the servants of Jagannath. He comes back to his place. He does his noon prayers, and then when he's having prasad, he's still remembering the uh, remnants of what he had of Jagannath prasad. So even though he was doing his activities which was tend to do, but his mind was completely filled with that ecstatic love for Krishna. Even though he was here trying to restrain it, we try to restrain uh, the things which we are not supposed to think or do when we are performing any activities or when we are chanting the holy name. We are not supposed to think other than hear the holy name. But here, the mind is filled with ecstatic love, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to restrain his mind. so that he could perform his external activities. Otherwise, he would go into that deep ecstasy. But every time he tries to restrain his mind, he is here again overwhelmed by deep ecstasy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in great ecstasy, and then when he is finishing, and usually when he finishes his evening, like Gayatri and other things, he sits with his personal associates and talks about the pastimes of Lord Krishna in that same deep ecstasy. Where were we? Yeah. And the prasad which he received, which Govinda took later, it was then sent to Paramanand Puri and Brahmanand Bharati, who comes in the same disciplic successions. Yes, Mataji, Rekha Mataji, you can recite 2-3 shlokas, I think. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we are able to hear you.
Yes, Mataji, you can recite Mataji, Rekha Mataji. You can recite these 2 shlokas and we'll end here, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, is it my turn to recite, Mataji?
Yes, you can recite Mataji, Rekha Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Text 106, isn't it, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
रमानंद सार्वभौम स्वरूपादिगाने सबारे प्रसाद दिला करियावंताने. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then gave shares of the prasadam to Ramananda Raya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Swarupa Damodara Goswami, and all the other devotees. Text 107. Prasadera saurabhya madhuryakari ashwadhana alaukika aswade sabara vismita hailamana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. As they tasted the uncommon sweetness and fragrance of the prasadam, everyone's mind was struck with wonder. Text
Yes,
one.
thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Mataji. So here again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still in the still was in so much jubilant of having the remnants of Jagannath Prasad. He was wondering why it was so much taste, and before we taste it, he was getting the fragrance of that sweet. So the same prasad is been now distributed to Ramanand Rai, Swarup Damodar, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, and many other devotees. And they also witnessed the same prasad, and they could not make out what is tasting it so much sweet, and fragrance is so much in that prasad, and they were also struck with wonder. So tomorrow we can discuss more about this prasad, which is having a great fragrance and great sweetness. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Pranams.
Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrindi ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.